can. I called it out for you.
Okay. What up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners. This is a full spoiler rewatch. First watch? It's not a rewatch because it's just airing. Game of Thrones, I don't know.
Show discussion?
Sure, I like that.
I'm Zach. This is Nate. If you've caught our usual chapters, normally we are doing a reread of the books, but while Season 8 is airing and it's the last season of the show, we decided to go ahead and cover that.
So this episode will be focused on episode 2 of Season 8.
Correct, but Oh, you go for it.
Oh, you gonna let me go?
I guess.
Are you sure?
I guess.
So what that means is that episode 1 has aired. Now, the format started out with us 5 minutes after watching the show. No talking about it. We got right behind the mic and started discussing. So we didn't have any time to really wrap our heads around everything. Because of that, we, jumped to some conclusions. We flew through our thoughts and didn't have time to process stuff. So we want to start this episode out by going over and addressing a little bit about episode 1 again. And mentioning, go over some of the feedback we received for that episode.
Yeah, so if you're looking just for our coverage of episode 2, we will be doing it this episode. There's going to be a break here in the episode.
Yeah, I'll put a little timestamp, so if you want to skip all of this stuff,
our rediscussion of episode 1 after we've had a week to digress. And so yeah, we'll just dive right in. I still kind of stand by a lot of what I said. I know we've been getting some great feedback and we appreciate all of it, but a lot of people have been saying that I went a little
well,
hard.
Why don't we start with our first email, if that's the case, because I think she even addresses it in there.
Yeah, we could definitely. We got
an email that we really wanted to read out and go over a bit of, because we really enjoyed the discussion that it spawned. Not just between me and the emailee, but between me and Zach as well. So, first of all, Brandy, thank you so much for writing in.
Thank you so much, Brandy. We appreciate it. You raised a lot of great points, so we're excited to address them.
So, let me just go ahead and read out this email. So, hey guys, big fan of the show. It's not easy finding podcasts that don't place all their focus on the show. Books are always better.
Agreed.
Duh.
Thank you. We appreciate you being a big fan.
So, I'm not sure I agree with everything y'all mentioned about the first episode of Season 8. First, I think Sansa and Arya are up to something bigger. I don't think this is Sansa being salty about Dany being the established queen and Jon bending the knee to her. I'm also a little surprised that y'all are...
Hold on. So we're going to...
Brandy.
Brandy, sorry. We are going to go through and try to address this point by point. I went a little hard on Sansa, a lot of people said. I stand by what I said. My issue with Sansa isn't the decisions she's making, isn't her trepidation of Dany. It's the cattiness. She's being sort of a bitch toward Dany, and in all honesty, Dany has the biggest fucking army and the best chance they have of defeating the army of the dead. Sansa may not like Jon's decisions, but being a bitch to Dany isn't gonna resolve this in any way. I agree. Sansa's focusing on how they're gonna eat.
Very important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Sansa's not being dumb. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't like the cattiness, the bitchiness. There's a different way she could go about it. As we were just watching right before we started talking here, we were watching the trailer for episode 2. I am given some hope that they might be able to get past their shit.
Yeah, I'm really hoping episode 2 they're going to kind of resolve
So I had said that I was just done with Sansa's character, and I kind of am. I'm not super interested in what develops with her. If her and Dany can get by it, then great. I'm in Sansa's corner again. If not, I'm not surprised, and I'm not really too upset about it. So I agree. I don't just think it's just pettiness with Dany and Jon. I don't know if her and Arya are up to something.
So that's my next thing is I had posed a little bit of chagrin about how harsh Arya was towards Jon, and I don't think that that's actually a thing. I think that's her kind of backing Sansa, saying, listen, we're family. I've got my family's back.
Lone wolf dies and the pack survives.
And so I think it's just her showing how she's grown and how she's still family driven.
I would love Arya and Sansa to have some plan, but I find that hard to believe, just in that I don't see Arya plotting about Jon behind his back.
Nor do I see Sansa.
No, I don't think Sansa's reached the level yet of... I think she's very unhappy, but So the next point
Yeah,
goes
so next
on.
you Brandy had mentioned, I'm also a little surprised that y'all are surprised Cersei slept with Euron. That's what she does to get what she wants. A good example is the Kettle Blacks.
Absolutely.
That's one of the issues with us having a book and show
Yes.
different episodes, and I responded back to Brandy, and she replied, and understood what I was saying, is that for the most part, Cersei uses sex as a weapon in the books.
Yeah,
and
I think we
does.
counted in the show. She really only sleeps with Robert Baratheon, Jaime Lannister, and Lancel Lannister.
Yeah, as far as I can remember. If there's others, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And now Euron himself. And my biggest thing with it wasn't the surprise that she would sleep with him. It was just how repulsed she looked by him when he rubbed her stomach, and like the fact that she's putting herself in that position, because Cersei has worked this whole series to get to a position where she's got power and no longer is at the whim of these weak men that she, has to fuck to because she was told to. And so she's choosing now to fuck Euron, who really...
and she was just saying, that whole speech
if
right
you want a
beforehand,
queen, earn her. Yeah, so that was more my confusion. Absolutely, Cersei uses sex as a weapon, and I get your point there, too,
Yes,
though.
definitely. So the next part, I also think the Night's King is on the way to King's Landing, not Winterfell. I don't think he's going to risk losing his dragon. 1 against 2 aren't good odds, and he's smart. Plus, it could have just been in the books, but I seem to remember a vision Dany had in the House of the Undying of the throne room.
That was in the show. You're correct there.
Both did occur in
yep.
both, and I addressed that in my email back to her, that it does happen in both of them. I see Dany slowly turning into her father. It's been building with each season, and was especially obvious when she burned the Tarleys in their armor. Sound familiar? She also didn't seem to show any remorse when telling Sam.
That's one of my favorite points of this email. Dany's face when she tells Sam is just... Like, it is what it is. And my heart broke for Samwell Tarly just watching him. Like,
now
I do see sort of the transformation. I don't think she's going to go full on.
So I forget exactly what I said during the first episode, but I know I had mentioned at my surprise that Sam responded the way he did. I back that fully and much more forcefully now. I definitely could understand Sam being upset about his brother. I think Dany could have been a little less harsh towards him in her way that she delivered that news to him, but I feel like for the most part this is just the shock and a way for the writers to deliver some lines.
It seems like a way to sort of draw his line in the sand with Jon and give him the line,
you took off your crown, would she? And I don't think that that's an accurate response. I know that he's upset about his father and brother, but I think it's more at the shock of the loss, because fuck Randall Tarly.
Brandy brings up another point as well, that her comments that dragons eat whatever they want rub me the wrong way too. Wasn't it shown in the show that Drogon ate a little girl? Where is that remorse? Maybe I'm being hard on her, but I'm not a big fan of show Dany. I agree. This last couple seasons, she seems to have lost her way. What happened to the breaking of the wheel? What happened to, a fair trial that Barristan Selmy claims for the son of the Harpy when he kills someone that they had in prison?
Right.
All of these things sort of have gone from her now, and now let's just roast these men in the armor, and dragons eat whatever they want. Children, remember that when you had a whole big fucking conundrum about that? I think Brandy has a great point there.
And I had responded back in that part with her response about dragons eating whatever they want. I feel like that's just kind of this angsty bitchiness that she's throwing, and not but again, similar to what we said about Sansa, there's other ways to do this. Sansa wasn't being a bitch there. I mean, she was. She had the attitude there behind the words.
Was.
But at the same time,
actually looking back at it, I've rewatched that scene since. She reminds me of Cersei there.
Yeah,
like she's channeling Cersei.
And I think
there.
That's what the writers are intending. But I don't. Sansa again was addressing a real problem. There's a huge army, and if either of them had approached it differently, Sansa could have said, listen, I know you brought this great army to help us. How are we going to feed it? What can we do? Again,
I think they could be gal pals. If, Sansa went up to Dany and was just like, hey, so my brother was pretty stupid in just kneeling to you before, discussing with the North, because this is why. You burned our grandfather and our uncle, alive, and the North the North remembers type thing. I also want to go back. She had mentioned the point, you read it, that the Night's King isn't on his way to Winterfell.
So, and that's
I
raised
spelled
that
down as well.
So, and I replied to her with that as well. My little theory that the Night King isn't dumb. He's not going to risk his dragon in
2-against-1. Yeah.
So he's going to, similar to what Robb Stark did to Jaime Lannister,
send his army.
He's going
to
send his army to Winterfell to distract them, but he and maybe a small portion are going to fly directly to King's Landing
and maybe raise them in a cinch, pinch their move, raise
so
the South.
I
and
feel
the
like
North.
that's where the Qyburn request from Cersei to Bronn is going to come into play, because on top of Bran probably being able to see that, Bronn may see the dragon flying south
definitely,
and be able to give the North, hey, like, he's going down there to do some shit. Who knows what's up.
So Brandy goes on to say, I definitely think Bran knows how all this goes down. I think he may know of the Night King's plan to go south, and that could be why he doesn't seem to emphasize the urgency of the situation other than the one time he mentions it. Maybe that's what he will tell tell Jaime. Bran, of course, is always hard to read. Agreed. I'm really excited for it. Jaime's trial has been... without a doubt, even before the season became, like, announced, I knew Jaime was going to be standing trial before this sort of exact court. And I think everybody did. I'm not claiming to be some
and I definitely think that Bran knows something. I think that Bran has a plan, actually, as well.
think Bran has a mission for Jaime, or a job for Jaime.
But yeah, Bran, as Brandy mentions, is a very tough read.
And then she just says some lingering details that I think are important, but I'm not quite sure how. Qyburn telling one of the girls with Bronn that she would be dead from the pox within a year. Will the pox break out? Giving the Night King a large addition?
We also discussed that.
Yes.
I have no fucking clue what it means.
Honestly, I think it could be sort of a reference to the Pale Mare in Dance of Dragons as well, with Dany dealing with that.
Because I was feeling like part of it could just be, we got to remember he was an ex-member of the Citadel. He does have those healer capabilities. So the pox could very well just be something that him as a healer recognizes and knows that she's pretty down with it.
Yeah.
It could also be something that he's involving with his plans. He's been studying that kind of disease and stuff. So who knows? It could mean anything, but...
And as the last point, Brandy noticed, as did quite a lot of us, once the Umber Kid was set on fire and it all went up in flames, it looked like the Targaryen sigil at first glance. I'm unsure, though, because it was more than the 3 heads of the dragon, so maybe the Greyjoy sigil? Anyway, thanks for the show. Love it. Brandy. Thank you, Brandy. We love you for writing in.
Really
we appreciate it.
Such good questions.
We actually do have a bit more points from her in our follow-up email as well.
And that's just some extra stuff. I don't know if we need to go over all of them, because really it's responding to what I had just gone over with what I replied to her. Just some small things that she didn't notice that I pointed out, and that I didn't notice that she pointed out. For instance, the Night King riding south and how that's similar to Robb and Jaime's capture there. But
mainly my biggest thing from the second email, and again, Brandy, we appreciate both. I really like this last paragraph she wrote, and she says, hopefully we, as hardcore fans of both book and show, aren't reading too much into these nuances. I could believe every little detail is planned if it was George R.R. Martin writing it, but it's not anymore, so I'm trying not to let myself down if all of these side questions are just red herrings.
Yes.
For me, I would love to see the Night's King on the throne, maybe with Cersei as his undead queen. How insane would that be? Maybe it's his perchance for chaos that intrigues me, but I think the Night's King is the most fascinating character. And book Varys. I feel like they really dropped the ball on Varys' character. Ha! See what I did there? I do see what you did there.
We definitely got a chuckle out of that, and it would be fucking sick to see the Night King on the throne.
I've actually, again, as sort of like thinking in the end game, I've always had this image of my head of, and I've called her Black Widow Cersei, of Black Widow Cersei in the Red Keep, and it's horrible, and Cersei's what's left to rule, what's left of humankind, mankind, whatever you want to call it, and it's miserable. She's a terrible leader, and it's just this broken woman left leading these broken people, and so to add a little more spice on that and make her the bride of the Night's King,
awesome.
So
awesome.
Again, thank you, Brandy. We appreciate it. You raised a lot of great points.
Sorry we didn't get to a lot of other emails. We know that a lot of people you're fucking dying over here. Jesus.
I was so excited about Brandy's email.
Can you stop for a second?
Apparently not.
Jesus. Man, so we are, at the time of recording this little intro, about an hour short of episode 2 airing. We will be coming back immediately after.
Real quick, before we make this break, we've seen the trailer now. We know Jamie's standing trial. We get that excellent line about the bedtime story.
Yes.
And all the things we would do to that man. You got predictions for this episode?
So, holy shit, yes. I think, I don't know who, and it's, because especially with the list of characters.
Yeah.
I think we're getting our first decently major death this episode. I think somebody's going to die that's going to be upset. And if not,
I think they would be upset
for
if
next
they died.
episode. Well, I'd be upset, but I mean, I'm going to be pretty upset. I don't even remember what
that's the thing. Like, I have no predictions going in here. I'm just taking for a ride,
I think
man.
that Jamie's going to get off.
I think he'll be okay.
I don't think it's going to be comfortable for him in that that room. I think he's going to get a lot of shit.
Brienne's going to step up.
Brienne's going to take
a step up.
And so, yeah, he's going to have a lot of backup, a lot of support. And I'm really excited to see what because I feel like we're not going to see that initial reaction between, or reunion between Bran and Jamie. I feel like it's going to cut to somewhere else, and he's already there in the throne, or in the courtroom, or whatever, however that works. So it'll be really cool to see the first interactions of Bran towards Jamie and how he's trying to represent him.
Yeah, I'm excited. There was also a quick shot of Arya shooting a bow in the preview, and I'm really curious about that because that calls back to season 1 when she outbows Bran. And then just one question I have for you. Are we going to see the Army of the Dead this episode?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think that's how the episode's going to end. So I guess maybe my death might have to wait till the 3rd episode.
I think we're safe for now until episode 3.
But yeah, I feel like this episode's going to end with the Army of the Dead arriving.
But as of right now, we only have about an hour left till we have these answers.
So we're going to go get off the mic. We're going to get situated, set up so that we're ready for our watch. And we hope you guys will be back in, well, for you, it'll be just a few seconds.
Yeah, and for you, it'll be after the break here that's coming up. And for us, it'll be about another hour.
So join us for the reaction.
And we will be a little further unsullied into the last season of Game of Thrones.
So we'll see you for the actual talking.
Catch you guys in a bit.
Episode 2.
Yeah, so we just finished the episode about 45 seconds ago or so. 10 to 45.
Yo, holy fucking shit.
I'm pretty shook.
Holy fucking shit.
And I will proclaim that I have shed my first tears of season 8.
Yeah. So we should try to start from
let's start chronologically with Jamie's trial.
It opens right up on it.
It went pretty much the way we expected.
I mean, verbatim what we were kind of expecting with people stepping up. So I thought I was getting teary-eyed when Brienne stepped up. That was fucking dope.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Would you fight for him? Do you believe he would fight for you type thing. I really enjoyed that. Then we got Jamie apologizing to Bran at the God's Tree in the God's Wood, which
and again,
was great.
Great, and
remember expected
it went very
as Bran saying, you needed to push me out the window to sort of get to where you are now, to where you can fight for us,
and to where I can be who I need to be.
Yeah,
so exactly as we were expected. Very cool to see it and everything.
Yeah. After that, we got. I don't even really remember. It was so much.
Yeah.
We're probably going to jump around just like we did for episode 1.
Yeah,
we
so then, since I can't remember exactly what came next anyway, was that when Sansa and Dany sat down and talked?
It might have been.
So let's do that.
I will absolutely eat my fucking crow over my issues, my gripes with Sansa in the first one, because this is exactly what I wanted, and I loved it. I was sold on this fucking scene where Dany came in and they just hashed it out. Like, this is what we've wanted, basically, in Game of Thrones since season 1.
I noticed a recurring theme in this episode was finishing arguments and fights halfway and then all of a sudden getting interrupted and not being able to finish hashing everything out.
Yeah.
So it's leaving every one of the Starks and Dany's disagreements are half settled.
Yeah.
To where, at the end there, Sansa was like, well, what about the North?
What about the North?
And again, like, I get it all from Sansa. do you need to add that? Technically, it's what Jon was doing the whole time too.
Yeah,
and so I don't see it's
at
not
this
fair
point.
to give it to
I'm
her.
willing to look more in Sansa's favor, though, because it was done. She even said, "I should have thanked you the second you
And that's
arrived,"
it.
type thing. So now I kind of.
But now
get
she's
Sansa
kind of
bringing
hoping,
it up.
yeah, she's hoping for something in return from the queen as a sign
And
of
so
like,
yeah,
whoa.
that one gets that moment gets interrupted by Theon arriving.
Yes.
And
So this is
I didn't expect to actually get as choked up about
okay.
that as I
Here's
did.
the thing. This is the first time I've ever experienced
Emotion about
an
Theon.
emotion about Theon.
I agree.
And this was the first tear that dropped for me. Was Sansa's like reaction to this man
Who saved her from
he
Ramsay.
was such a all the terrible things he did. And like I've refused to allow his redemption to
be a thing.
fuck
I agree.
him,
Yeah.
fuck him. But like the relief that he's gonna be there fighting for her, like. It was more for Sansa that I was like, fuck yeah, man.
No,
like,
Sansa's reaction is what got
and
me
so I'm on board with Theon being up there. Doing
that's
this thing
fine.
now. Like she sold it for me. If she can get over it, then who am I to fucking
Yeah.
and so yeah, that was
from there. I don't remember
awesome.
again if this is chronological, but we got Davos working his soup kitchen magic, and the little Shireen type reference.
Yeah,
the
that
little
was-
girl coming up wanting to fight, which was adorable. But
Yeah, and it was a good way to show Gilly doing
Gilly
her
helping
part,
people
and then
get into the crypts. Yeah,
I like the way they worked around to convince the little girl to defend the people in the crypts.
Yeah.
That was
yeah. I thought that was a nice little Shireen callback, even with
that
the
hurt.
touch of burnt on her face. But
yep.
it was just so much. Let's Arya and Gendry, first they have a very flirtatious moment where Gendry sort of tells Arya he wants her to go into the crypts instead because these things are different than anything you've ever
Yes.
fought. And she just, the throwing
The-
knives
yeah,
of dragon
like-
glass, 1, 2, 3.
Because that's when she gives the speech that we heard in the trailer, I think it was. There's many faces
Yes,
of death.
death, yeah.
I'm curious to see.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing this one. There was huge sexual tension vibes in that scene. And
So since we're on it, let's just jump straight
they
through it.
bang it out in that episode.
That was the most unexpected thing.
Well, I
I've
mean,
ever
like,
experienced.
shippers confirmed. There you go.
Yo, so like I can't blame them. Like the same reason
I was
everyone's running around
super
talking.
uncomfortable though with Arya stripping on camera and like.
I mean, just because we've watched her from this
Mhm.
growing position, but like, I mean, good for her to she's experienced all this nasty, horrible shit.
Yeah, no,
she's
no,
absolutely right.
it's
It's her potentially
it's
her
with
last
Gendry,
night
yeah, it's
alive.
consensual, both of them. It's cool.
And
but,
so
like,
good for her to you know what, I might not live throughout tomorrow, so I want to know what it's like. I'm gonna go find the hottest guy that I think I've ever met, and I'm gonna go and do my thing.
it was that was
And,
surprising to me.
Maisie
just-
Williams sold it because she definitely had that inexperience. Like it
She
seemed
was
like
almost
she was.
I liked the way she was grilling him about how many girls he slept with. Like it was just great. She was playing the game of faces with him.
Yeah, she was
and,
definitely.
And it was just amazing that like she's using that to suss out
To
how
make
much
sure,
experience he
yeah.
has. And
How are you likely to be a
no,
fucking
it was good.
whore?
I mean, for all the shippers, there you go. We got the one thing confirmed.
One's
at
confirmed.
least, but,
Two with R plus L
and
equals
before
J.
before that scene, Arya had come upon the Hound on the wall and was kind of hanging out
Right,
with
which was a
him.
pretty cool thing when she came up and they were just kind of.
I really enjoyed
BSing.
when the Hound she sits down and the Hound says, "Normally you wouldn't shut the fuck up, and now you're a mute." And it was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
it
great.
was-
And she says, "I've changed." It was a great sort of change to their character. And then Barrack shows up.
Well, before that, she's like, "Why are you
oh
here?"
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and not here up on the battlements is what he, cuntily responded with. But she was like, no, like, you joined the Brotherhood, you went to the north of the wall with Jon, you're here at Winterfell, why are you here?
Yeah, you've never fought for anyone else in your life.
And I definitely think that she took him off her list. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, he
easily.
even surprised her, I think, a little bit with his response of "I fought for you, didn't I?" Because he
Yeah.
did. He was fighting Brienne to keep her safe, and so that was nice. Then yeah, Beric Dondarrion shows up, and Arya had taken him off the list, but she was kind of over it. The Hound threatens to throw him over the wall if he starts giving a sermon,
Which was another funny.
and then
little
Arya
thing.
is like, "No, I'm out of here
I
because
don't
I'm
wanna
not spending my last moments with you two old fucks." And then she goes and finds Gendry, and they get it on.
Yeah, it was caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that part.
Yeah, it was good. Danny's distrust of Tyrion frightened me a lot this episode.
But Jorah, yo.
And then
Jorah's
Jorah,
he
when
boss
he
this
he
episode.
pulled Danny aside and basically said that mistakes are made, but you made the smart decision in making Tyrion your hand. It's his mind that you want. He can admit his mistakes,
and
this
told
was a
told
mistake.
her you need to forgive him. Like, it's not.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really like it at all, but like that Tyrion trusted Cersei, but like I think his compassion, he always did love her children except for Joffrey. So like I think his compassion got the better of him. I think there's more to the story, but I don't really know. But I just really like the way Jorah kind of went up to bat for him and
yeah, because I like the way that he came in at first, and it seemed, the writers made it this, you appointed him the hand, almost like he was trying to get her to throw it his way.
Yeah, like he wanted handed the kingship for himself.
It completely turned, and he was defending. So I also forgot to mention that I thought it was neat because they had the scene with Sansa and Dany sitting there discussing making amends and shit, and then the Theon one goes straight after, and so Dany witnessed her, all she's heard is this North loyalty. Then this guy coming back for the queen. Like, it was, I rescued Yara for you.
Yeah,
she's taking the Iron Islands for you. I came here because I want to defend her.
Yeah.
And then Sansa to run up and, like,
yeah.
approach him that way.
Yeah,
like,
it
I
showed
think
her
really,
that northern loyalty quite well. From there, it was sort of reunion city.
So
this episode.
We got
great.
that Jaime going down to talk to Brienne on the training field.
Yeah.
And Podrick
Pod
was fucking
shit up.
owning
It looked like
people.
He was training
yes,
some of the
I
people.
agree. And like he was just flinging them away
And
like they were nothing.
We got that great shot where they're legit. They're attaching dragonglass to the battlements of Winterfell. They're hammering it into those wooden crosses.
Yeah, Grey
and
Worm
stuff.
has the cool bridges
the
that are like
drawbridge that can
retractable and shit.
Yeah, so they're preparing pretty well. But Pod, he's out there training people. It looks like. And
so second tier of the episode, Jaime saying that he's not the fighter he used to be. I came north to pledge myself to fight beneath you in this battle.
Me.
Yo, like to
under
come up
her command.
Like that was fucking sick.
Yeah, that was amazing. The Jaime and Brienne moments though.
So
yeah, from there, I'm just trying to remember all the fucking beats because this episode was so heavy. We had Sam present fucking Heartsbane.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the episode.
To
but
Jorah.
God, that was cool because it was right after Jorah and Lyanna Mormont had their little moment. Which
That's
was
right.
Cool.
Oh well, that's right. Tormund arrived, and Jon was super excited to see them, and Jon was running to go hug Ed, and Tormund just tackled him out of nowhere in the reunion.
Right, we jumped to all these people sleeping and doing.
And that's when Tormund, we get before the sun rises tomorrow, like where they'll be here, and the Umbers are wiped out. Anyone who's not at Winterfell at this point, he says, is the army of the dead, and so they kind of plan and everything, and it's a nice reunion between all of them and Sam. And then
because that was funny because Jon was running up to greet Ed, and it was like, yeah, they're gonna be back together, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere Tormund practically tackles fucking Jon, and he's like growling at him the fact that he's alive still.
Yeah, and then we get essentially the big battle, like all of them in a room at a table.
What a cool fucking moment.
My God, that scene was amazing. We get the strategy of, Bran's going to be in the Godswood to draw out the Night King.
With
and Bran kind of tells us what his motives are. He's coming for me.
We found out what the end game is.
And he is just death. He is forgetting. He wants to cleanse this world
of men is what he wants it to where
knowledge.
It's basically animals.
And
are
Sam
roaming.
has that great thing of saying that knowledge is really what death is, being forgotten, and that reduces us to just bestial nature.
And he says, so they
Arya, gets all defensive of we're not leaving Bran alone in the Godswood, and Jon is right there with her, and Bran is all for, just letting the Night King come out with him, and then they say, will Dragonfire kill the Night King? And Bran says, I don't know, no one's ever tried. So, we're
really
hitting some next level shit.
Well, that's
here.
it. It's cool because now we're finally. He revealed the end game. What the Night King wants. What everybody's wanted to know. The Night King wants to just decimate. He wants. So it doesn't matter if he's not gonna. So that I feel like gives kind of some weight towards like when we were talking about Brandy saying the Night Queen or Cersei marrying the Night King. I don't think that's an option. I think he wants everybody gone.
I think it's more of an option now that he will be bypassing Kingsland or Winterfell on his own to go
because he wants everything gone. Not Winterfell's just one.
And it would make sense because in Dany's vision of the House of the Undying, the Red Keep is decimated, and it looks like it's snowing, and the snow is coming
and there's
in.
a single dragon.
And so
shadow.
he could go down there, decimate it and clear them all and raise the army, and then
attack from both sides.
Yeah, King's Landing is empty, and that's when the snows fall and all that nonsense. But we didn't get any King's Landing this episode.
No,
which
we
I'm
did
okay.
not.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with
absolutely. Right.
We got a lot of preparations. Grey Worm is sort of leading those preparations, which is dope.
He had a little moment with
him and Missandei. We
Missandei.
got to see some of the northerner racism, and that was
no
pretty.
shit.
I like Missandei. She was a little rude to Davos last season, but I can forgive her that. And her and Grey Worm had a nice moment of him asking, "What would you want to do?"
You know, afterwards, let's get the fuck out of here with these crazy, so we can head out.
Actually, that conversation just reminded me, all the way back to Jamie apologizing to Bran and Jamie asking, "So what happens afterwards?" And Bran asking him, "You assume there is."
What makes you think there is an afterwards? Yeah,
and that's what leaves their conversation on.
See, I still don't think that Bran can see the future.
I don't either. I think he can see events as they've played out that the werewoods can see. Agreed. Yeah, I don't think he has an idea of what's
But he did
happen.
give that line during the battle meeting, which we also found out during that Theon and the Iron Island guys he brought are going to stand and protect
which I really
Theon
like
and
that.
I know, again, like, I'm on board.
I took
now I'm on
Winterfell
board.
from you. Like, let me protect you, which is great.
And then
symmetry.
he gave him a nod. Yeah, I'm on board for Theon right now.
Yeah,
at this
Bran
point,
approved
like,
that, and Jon even, and Sansa was a little proud. It looked like of Theon,
Yeah.
like absolutely.
And so Bran gave that little line about how, you know, the Night Kings tried this many times with all the other three-eyed crows
to kill them.
Like, so he knows that he's coming for him, and he can see him at all times.
Yeah.
He says he knows where I am at all times with this mark. And,
Bran's location is on.
And so I think that this is the first time Jon's getting a scope of what Bran's been through, you know, because he reveals that he's been grabbed by the Night King.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, no, it's a huge deal. Just having all these characters in one room.
I know.
Because then, you know, we've got
Tormund's in there.
Jamie basically saying that, like, we need to focus, you know, because Jon gives the whole thing where if you sort of kill one of the White Walkers, all the whites it's raised die, and so they should focus the Night King.
Jamie points out that he's not going to expose himself.
Yeah, Jamie points out he'll never expose himself, and that's when Bran, you know, they decide to use Bran as bait, and Sansa's not really having it, but we find out, like, Brienne's leading the left flank, and Jamie's going to be under her, and so, yeah, they dismiss this battle plan of sorts and head to bed, and Jon's been avoiding Dany this whole episode.
Yeah, well, especially, you know, we obviously know last episode he found out who he is, and so it's probably just a little bit weird for him that that's his aunt.
Yeah, and so that's when we start getting preparations of people. That's when Arya and Gendry bone down, and everyone's sort of prepping themselves for the night.
So we get Jamie and Tyrion are sitting in front of the fireplace.
Well, that's, I think, a bigger scene. Then let's skirt to Jon and Sam on the battlements of Winterfell with our first glimpse of Ghost.
Yeah, so
hey, Barrack was super excited.
So likely because of the budget, that's our last scene of Ghost.
Yeah,
but you know, we
got Ghost, and we got
John and Sam.
John and Sam talking, and it was a nice. Sam was asking Jon if he's told Dany yet, and Jon said no, and then they're joined by Ed. And it was just great. The last three members of the Night's Watch.
Yeah, because he walks up and says, "And now our watch begins," and it's like.
It was just great to see the full circle of the Night's Watch, where the wall that they're guarding is now the walls of Winterfell.
Right.
And they
well, because it's cool because we got all those season 1, episode 1 mirrors for the first episode, and now we're getting, you know, because Jon didn't make it to the wall, you know, that we're getting some of these extra mirrors as well of those 3 stars. Because even Sam mentions, you know, I think about how it all started back with, you know, Gren and Pip and all the other guys. And they're like, yeah, now it's just the 3 of us.
Yeah, that's when Ed even says that Sam the Slayer, like, that's who we're relying on. That's how you know the world is fucked. And Sam gets defensive, saying, you know, everyone tends to forget I was the first one who killed a White Walker.
Yeah, he gets fucking
all this
dope.
shit. But then Ed just finishes by saying, you know, that whoever's left, burn the rest of us, burn our dead bodies, like, and he said that before, and it was perfect symmetry for those 3. And so then we get to Jamie and Tyrion sitting enjoying some wine, and they're just discussing life and how basically Tyrion says he wishes Tywin was there and could see his 2 sons about to die defending Winterfell.
Which was a funny line that Tyrion
and they have
says.
a chuckle over it, and then they are joined by
my man
Brienne and Pod, and Tyrion super fills his wine glass, and it's great.
Yeah, that was
Brienne
adorable.
only tells him half a cup,
and
they join him, and then Tormund comes in,
and Davos
comes in, and they have this great, amazing little powwow of just bullshit before they die.
Then the scene that reduced me to fucking.
They start
just
talking
pile of
about
junk.
knighthood and how Brienne isn't a knight, and Jamie stands up and says, "You want to be a knight? A knight can make another knight."
Yeah,
Come
let's
kneel.
fucking do this.
And she does, and you can see she's skeptical at first, and then they do it.
And I've been waiting to say this. Like, of all people to have, the only other better person they could have had in that room would have been Samwell Tarly, to make sure it goes down in the history and, written down.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Of all the people to witness it, Tyrion Lannister, Davos Seaworth, fucking Jaime Lannister, Podrick Payne,
Tormund.
just, the group in there that can tell the Queen Daenerys and fucking Sansa and, the Starks and just get the news around that. No, she's a fucking knight.
Yeah.
And so now we have Sir Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. They did the whole kit and caboodle, too. They really gave this scene its time and let her be fully knighted. And you can see, I mean...
The joy on her face when
Christine
she steps up.
Yeah,
like,
she gives Brienne's first, full smile in, I think, the series of... And, yeah, Jamie doing it was just amazing.
And, like, when she looked over and got Pod's little nod of approval and smile, like... Yeah, man,
Tormund starts clapping. They all start clapping. Tyrion's raising toasts to her. It was amazing, and that was one of the first scenes that got me. And then they saw.
I'm getting weepy again right now.
We get some other fun scenes. I can't really remember the order specifically, but Tyrion starts asking for a song. And nobody knows the song, and it comes around to Pod.
Of course.
And Pod starts singing, and it's put over some
heavenly
montages of Winterfell. And it just... He's also singing Jenny's song from Jenny of Old Stones, which just kind of got me right in the feels. And it's just superimposed over these images of these characters that we know and love getting ready in battle.
Well, yeah, because, Jamie was getting ready to call it a night, and Tyrion was like, "No, come on, just a little more." And Davos, well, we're out of wine anyway, and so that's why he called for the song. But yeah, it just starts montaging, and
yeah, we get Sam laying with Gilly and them, and
just some more
Jorah
blacksmithing,
Jorah
checking out the battlements, and then we get Jon standing in the cribs.
Yeah, and Dany's approaching him, and this is when we get the straight up reveal because he's standing in front of Lyanna's.
And she asks, "Who is this?" And he says, "That's Lyanna Stark." And then
she brings up Rhaegar, that everyone told her Rhaegar was sweet.
You're lying.
and everything like that.
And how could he have raped her? And Jon's just does. He just says it. He didn't.
She, man, her reaction was visceral. Like, she looked offended when he...
Well, especially,
pulls away.
And it sucks because she just had the conversation about the manipulation. I just traveled up here, which was such a good scene. Like, I loved her line there, like, I came here to fight for your brother's army and this and that.
Yeah, her
who
admitting
manipulated
she loves Jon,
who.
yeah.
And for him to, all of a sudden, oh, well, your best friend and your brother are now claiming you're the rightful heir, and so you could definitely understand where it's coming from, but at the same time, like, it's not far-fetched in Targaryen lineage for an aunt and a nephew. Like, that's not crazy. So I still feel like he's perfectly willing to allow her the throne anyway.
Of course, keeping with the theme, they get interrupted by the horns blasting to announce the arrival of the dead. And
so they don't get to finish
that story. They run to the battlements, and we see Tyrion in them, and... it's actually been decided that Tyrion's probably going to go down into the crypts, even though he can fight. But they're protecting his mind, which I love. Protect my boy.
Well, that's it. He's one of the important ones. If the Night King's out to destroy memories and knowledge and
yeah, we get the dead arriving. We get the horse hooves stepping down.
Yeah, and so Jon makes a comment about arming something and looks at Dany and asks her a question, and she just kind of gives him this fucking
he's I'm pretty sure he's just validating that, like, you're gonna go grab the dragons, right? And I think she storms off to do so, but the look she gives him is not one of like hey, I love you, and
we still have shit to talk about, because she was going down to approach him mainly because she's been noticing he's been blowing her off, and
she gets that bombshell. So it looks like we're gonna get the Battle of Winterfell, and then this resolution to Sansa's what happens with the North, and Jon's reveal that he's a Targaryen, and
it's
Dany's
all coming to a head, man.
Arya and
Ghost
Gendry
appeared,
are banging it out.
Yo, Arya and Gendry, do you think Arya's pregnant?
She had a staff maid. That's cool.
That thing was cool, and she was kind of waving it around.
I don't think Arya's pregnant.
You never know.
But yeah, the staff is pretty sweet. I'm really, really fucking scared about next episode because I feel like we're gonna lose.
Somebody's dying. Somebody's
at
definitely
least
dying.
somebody.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
thinking
Oh, yeah.
multiple at least.
Oh man, I can't handle that shit. So who's your inductee for this episode?
Holy Santa Claus shit. I don't even know, man. There's just so much. Like, can I just give it to scenes? I just want to give it to a scene.
Nope. That's not how this shit works.
I guess then Jamie for just his arc and coming full circle and being able to knight Brienne and give her, I think, like the best moment of her life before the possible end of her life, and you can just see it on her face how much she wanted it and was just lying about not wanting it, and how much it meant. Like, the actress just fucking killed it, and yeah, it was good. I don't know why. That wasn't something I ever really expected to see. Just in my ponderings, I hadn't been like, oh yeah, Brienne will probably get knighted, because, you know, I'm not looking at the minute shit of who's a sir at this point. But I'm really glad the show took the time to do that scene and give Brienne the knight, and especially with just such an important person to her. So yeah, that.
So I was
Jamie for inducting Brienne.
throwing around the idea of giving it to Theon, but I'm giving it to Brienne because she fucking deserves it, man.
She killed it this episode, yo.
She did out, and like, she deserves to be knighted. And I don't know, I just think that Brienne, like, because I remember back when I first had read some of her chapters way back when and shit in the books and seen her in the show, I was like, yeah, whatever. But like, she's a fucking badass.
Yeah, Brienne
she's
handles
cool as
some
shit. She deserves the honor of being, like, because that's all she's ever really wanted, is to be allowed to be knighted. And she got onto Renly's, Kingsguard, and nope, fucking suck it. You get fucked there, and it's put on you. She just always gets the shit end of the stick. And then Jamie came north because he's in love with Brienne. Like, you can't fucking convince me otherwise. He's there to fight under her. Like,
yeah.
He knighted her. Like, she is now on the same level as him. I suppose he's...
That was one of the best parts, was Jamie noticing, like, Tormund trying to catch her affections.
Oh, yeah, you could definitely see
the
little bit of the... And then it was great because of how fucking awful his story was.
Oh, yeah.
About the, sleeping with the
They
giant's
all
wife.
look appalled. They're
and then
all
he
just in various...
chugs his a horn of booze. So, but yeah.
Tormund's enjoying his last night alive.
You know what? Good for you, Tormund. You're fucking hilarious. But Brienne and Jamie, I ship that 100%. So... Brienne, they can just, then we don't have to take up 2 rooms in the Brotherhood's area. We can just put them in one room.
True, yeah,
your
they just
inductee
got
and mine.
one room.
So write in to give us your inductees for episode 2 of season 8.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. We'll follow up again next week's episode. We'll start out with a little recap once we've had some time to process what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, all my emotions.
Because I'm pretty sure we missed a shitload of stuff still.
I feel like that as well, but I just, right now, I'm pretty shook over the whole goddamn concept of just life. And that battle scene, that battle plan scene just has me on a whole nother level.
And like, we've got a plan now. We got a battle plan, motherfucker.
Whether or not it'll work.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, and
they got to have the dragons nearby, but not too nearby, because they don't want to scare them away.
I'm shook. Winterfell's fucked. So, all right, guys, we will we'll catch you on episode 3.
Yeah, so hit us on our socials. At Manners Without on Twitter, Facebook.com/Brotherhood Podcast on, for our Facebook stuff. We have our Patreon episodes that are going to be coming up. We have the the Mercy episode will be popping up on Patreon.com/MannersWithout. Without Manners Brotherhood at gmail.com. We can always be reached at, all these usuals.
iTunes, if you could give us a rate and review, that'd be great. I'm going to go into a corner and just rock back and forth for a week now. So we will catch you guys on episode 3, probably called The Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah, but otherwise you can also check out our next book read episode, our reread episode, which is... Let's see, Ned 4 came out the other day, and so it would be Tyrion 3, maybe? Something like that. If you listen to the reread, you heard us announce what it was last time. You're on board. You know where it is.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, so we'll catch you there, guys. Valor to Harris.
Peace.